women once a week.
Yeah. I was up watching the Guy Ritchie movie.
Revolver.
We all got our screener copies.
Of Revolver.
It's got Jason Statham, who I think is a really cool, good actor.
He's been in here. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Been here at 8.
Like him.
Well, I don't know. He took the red eye, so they're hoping he'll get here in time.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing. But in other words, we just have Guy Ritchie today.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But we'll see.
The excuses
we'll
have already started flowing in, so who knows?
We'll see.
These stupid publicists think we're not onto their game.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Maybe he'll come.
Yeah, we'll see.
And, we watched that last night. Not all together like, the Beatles in A Hard Day's Night. We weren't all hanging out in a room.
Look, Willie Walker, we're like Charlie's family and Willie in the chocolate factory.
Where we just all sit around in a bed together.
With our stocking caps on. Bunch of rods.
Torn, dirty jammies. Yeah, so we all watched it. And what'd you think, Ope?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Can I say the thing with the problem is it was kind of hard to follow. It really was like, and I'm good at movies like with twists and stuff like that, but it was a tough one to follow.
It was.
Well, know what I told Anthony if we're going to talk openly, what the hell? I told Anthony in the office, I go, wow, it was one of those movies where I'm kind of watching like, all right, cool. All right, there's a gang, and that guy's a bigwig casino. He's getting out of jail. All right, man, I could get into this. And I'm kind of just watching. And then 20 minutes into the movie, I go, oh, no, I think I was supposed to pay way more attention than I am.
Oh, no. A few things slipped by me, and there's no going back.
And because we had screener copies, it wasn't easy to rewind. I couldn't do the rewind.
Really?
I didn't notice that.
Because Jason Statham had this huge monologue, and I'm like, I think I was supposed to pay attention to that. I think that set up everything.
See, but I don't think that's true because I paid strict attention.
Right.
The entire time from beginning to end. I really made a point because the beginning really roped me in.
Right.
I liked the whole thing. Jason Statham, he's getting out of prison. It's they're putting quotes up on the screen from throughout history about things like warfare and strategy and
games
and gaming and things like that. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I like where this is going right from the start. And then as the movie went on, I was just kind of like, all right, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the ride. But I'm getting this sinking feeling that the destination is going to be, I'm going to be dropped off in the middle of the desert somewhere, left to look at the credits roll going, what the, what, but what happened?
Didn't you yell at your TV, don't do it?
I said,
don't do it.
Yeah. I went, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to see a credit. Oh, there are the credits. Oh, Jesus, no.
I'm left trying to figure this out.
Now I'm laying there, and I know I got to go to sleep because we got to get up at an ungodly hour for this show. And I'm kind of going, oh, my God, why? But what? But at one point, my girlfriend kind of goes, she goes, are you lost? And I went, yes, I'm lost. And I was indeed lost. But then you hope, much like when I first watched Pulp Fiction, that it all ties up at the end somehow.
I think it's one of those movies you guys see a second time. I really do. Following your thought there, I consider myself a pretty intelligent guy. I like to figure things out. I like puzzle solving and that type of thing, right? And I was getting so lost that I was getting so mad that I actually felt my brain kind of like short-circuiting.
You were getting like hot and angry?
My whole body got hot because it was started short-circuiting. I'm like, I can't freaking follow this. I can't figure this out. So then I got so worked up, I went on the computer and I started playing Full Tilt as the movie's still playing.
I thought you were going to say you went on the computer to look into the movie.
No.
Because I've done that. I've looked into other people's opinions on the movie.
No, I knew I just had to get away from it, but I was still watching. And then I was so worked up and so mad that I'm just messing up everyone's poker games online last night. I'm like, I got like a 2-7 offshoot and I'm going all in. And I go all in and I get a flush on the last 3 cards. I'm playing Omaha for the people that really know cards. And I'm all in on the worst hand you could possibly go all in on.
Yeah.
Right away, too. Right away. It was my first hand in the game.
That angers people.
Well, that's what I was... So,
except Master Poe.
So everyone...
Good hand.
The cards that came out, everyone's like, oh, my God, this guy's an idiot. We'll just take his money real fast. And everyone goes all in. And I hit the flush on the last 3 cards.
You sucked out, yeah.
Sucked out. And all of a sudden, all the chips come my way. And then you watch the screen go... Boing, 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 sitting out. I cleared out the room.
Everyone leaves.
Because no one wants to play with that crap.
They don't want to play with you.
No one wants to play with a guy that has absolutely no strategy they can figure out.
So you were trying to watch the movie and play poker?
Well, this was with about 20 to 30 minutes left because I was so frustrated. And then there were no more booby shots either. So I'm like, all right, well, I can't even sit around for booby shots. Although the Asian guy in the sauna with the chick that's topless and she had the beer bottle right between her legs, and then she would take the beer bottle and lift to drink.
Yeah, she was holding it like...
But unfortunately, the camera would move up to her lips right at that point.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty damn hot scene.
Yeah.
She was the one, was she the same girl that they showed sitting in a chair with her legs? She was wearing underwear. She had one leg draped over the side of the chair and she was licking a lollipop.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another one.
Oh, that was another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great up the skirt shot. It was very sexy.
Yeah.
I got to be
a pretty cool scene. Like, they had some really cool scenes in there.
I don't know if it was a bad movie. I'm not gonna sit here and say the movie sucked. I don't know. It was filmed great. A couple of scenes were awesome. The some of the gun scenes were really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched
Ray Liotta is absolutely insane once again. I want to ask Guy Ritchie if this guy's even acting in this.
Yeah, Ray Liotta's in it. I don't think we mentioned that, did we?
Yeah, Ray Liotta was very
There's
good.
one point where he's in this blue room. Was that a huge
It's like a tanning room.
A tanning room. And he's trying to make a point as the big boss yelling and screaming at one of his underlings. And all of a sudden, the camera pans out, and Ray Liotta did this whole speech completely nude. I'm like,
it's just
and then
naked.
turns around, you see Ray Liotta's ass walking away. It made me laugh. I'm like, this guy is nuts, man.
And I was, I had trouble following the movie because when the movie started, I told you guys what I was doing was I was trying to sign up for the Aussie auction, but that was when
guys. He's playing poker. You're on eBay or whatever.
But that's when the movie started. That wasn't like because I didn't like the movie. I was literally I figured I'll join the auction real quick. I'll sign up and just that's how you do with a movie.
Yeah,
right
but it's one of those movies where you had that monologue and it kind of sets up the entire movie.
I know, and I didn't know what I was doing with the auction, and I made a bid 3 times for one item, and they're like your thing hasn't been approved. I'm like, this sucks.
What? Really?
So you didn't get any Aussie stuff?
The auction hasn't even started yet. I'm trying to join. I'm just I can't even join to buy something.
You got to buy something from the Aussie auction.
To be honest, I didn't love most of the stuff. Not that it's bad, but it's more like fancy household stuff that if you have aunt, you might love some of the candelabras and stuff.
Oh, an Aussie candelabra.
No, I mean, like, you want stuff that Ozzy used in concert or something.
They have some of his clothes, but there's nothing from the concerts or the albums. It's nothing, I think, nothing that he couldn't.
It's all stuff he never wanted. Probably. When he started redecorating his mansion.
No jewelry. No cool Aussie skull rings.
No, there actually was some skull cufflinks, but I don't wear cufflinks.
Skull cufflinks.
All right. We got to take our first break.
You'd wear those, though, if they were Aussies.
As earrings.
Put them on your T-shirt sleeves.
So what do we tell Guy Ritchie? We're not sure if the movie's good.
See, that's just it now. Now we have to kind of we have if Guy Ritchie. Well, he will come in.
But that's my
listening right now.
But that's me being honest. I'm not going to sit here and say the movie sucked. I don't know if it sucked.
No, it wasn't.
It looked cool as hell.
It didn't suck because I'm not saying, wow, that really was a waste of my time, and I'm pissed I watched it. That's when a movie sucks. This was I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed watching the movie. I just didn't get it. I didn't fully understand. At the end of the movie, and I'm not ruining anything, when right before the credits roll, they have 5 or 6 psychiatrists and psychologists discussing things.
Discussing ego.
To try to wrap it up.
Right.
They're kind of like going back and forth and talking. That to me was like, oh, okay. They kind of screened this. People didn't get it, so they throw in these explanations from these psychiatrists on things like ego and id, and I was lost.
Right. By the way, someone's calling me out on my Omaha playing. He's right. It's early, bro. I was talking about a straight I got, actually. Opie, how do you win with a flush playing Omaha with a 2-7 offsuit? You're absolutely right. It was actually a straight that happened. He's absolutely right. I don't want to sound like completely uninformed about Omaha. So here's a guy. We turned him onto the movie. Tim in Pennsylvania, what's up?
Hey, boys.
Hey.
I just want to say, whenever I watch a movie and I find myself thinking about it the next day, going through it, that to me is made it worth my money. I think it's a good movie if I think about it the next day. Some of the movies you watch and you completely forget about, but the fact that you're talking about it, maybe that means it has something to it.
I usually get online, and this movie isn't out, so I usually get online though and look on IMDb and try to get other people's comments and what they thought the movie was about. When it's a movie that I'm like, huh, what? Like the first time I watched Donnie Darko, I was like, okay, what the hell was that about? And had to go online and went online and kind of, figure it out. So I guess that is kind of cool when you get a movie that, the next day you're still figuring out what the hell was going on.
No one movie confused the hell out of me. Memento. Now, I mean, everyone knows Memento now, but when it first came out, you're like, what? And there were no movies that came out before that were that strange and filmed that way. And I was completely lost.
Mulholland Drive.
Well, why don't you continue talking in the middle?
Yeah, Mulholland Drive.
Well, it's like Memento in the sense it's a David Lynch movie, and I didn't understand Memento when I saw it either.
Oh my God!
Thank you, Tim.
The man keeps forgetting.
But I'm just saying. Then at the end of the movie, I remember thinking with Memento, I'm like, what? Like I was all over the place, confused, and then I saw the movie again, and then realized, wow, this thing is
sometimes
really
just go watch
good.
it a few times.
This is really good, and I'm starting to think with Revolver that I got to at least take another peek at it.
Yeah,
I got to take another peek at it.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. That might clear things up. I hope.
We'll see. We'll see if Guy Ritchie even comes in now.
Is he known to have a sense of humor, open mind, things like that? No.
He seems to be a hothead.
What else has Guy Ritchie done?
One of my favorite movies of all time, Snatch.
Snatch
Okay. Is brilliant, and the dialogue in it is hilarious.
That's another one you can kind of barely understand some things people are saying.
Yeah, but they got the feature Brad Pitt's part. You can put on the subtitles for just when he's talking.
Yeah,
and it makes the movie way better because then you understand exactly what he's saying.
Yeah. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Okay, that was a good one.
And he did Swept Away, but let's not talk about that today.
Don't see it.
That's the Madonna vehicle that went absolutely nowhere. Hey, why don't we take our first break? It's the Opie and Anthony. We got to get right into this. It's Opie and Anthony in studio. Guy Ritchie, and he just shook all our hands and like you smell good, man. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that, but
we really are like three fairies. He walks in and we're all like, "You smell terrific, Guy." And I'm like, "What is that?" He goes, "Polo." Like I'm an idiot. And he's right.
Is it just polo? I got to go back to polo. I think
it's really good. I used to wear that when I was in high school. I had a sweater. I always thought girls liked it. It's good.
I'm trying out all these fancy, stupid colognes, it's polo.
No, it's old school.
It's old school.
Polo. I tried the new polo. The new polo wasn't doing it for me. So I went back to the old green bottle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, is this some kind of trick? Like you squirt your hands and then we're all distracted like, wow, Guy Ritchie smells good.
You're embarrassing me now.
Love of God.
But I said I was so stupid. I just said British people smell good when they came in here.
Oh, you threw a blanket statement out that was just ridiculous,
Jim. You threw your coffee on me, you would have been right.
No,
I would have argued with you.
I know where you're going with this. Ozzy smelled good when he came in, and there was another British gentleman that came in. He smelled good.
Yeah, but you're talking about people that are successful and have done things and probably can afford a way of life. Yeah, can afford aftershave.
I'm sure if two soccer hooligans walked in, they wouldn't smell
yeah, they're not going to smell that good.
That's right. Rich people
soccer hooligans.
Guy Ritchie, I got to start by saying Snatch is one of my favorite movies of all time. I know you're not here promoting that, but I just got to get it out of the way, man.
Thank you very much.
I got some friends, and we just quote lines from that movie. It's just an amazing movie. I don't even know if everyone has really seen that movie and appreciate it for what it is.
Well, go out and buy it because I've still got vast shares in the film itself.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's one of those movies that should really just be out there.
It is a good one. Well, it kind of has cult status too now. It's one of those movies that kind of gotten that little cult spot in history.
And I thought it was hilarious on the DVD where you could put the subtitles on for just Brad Pitt's part. I thought that was brilliant. And it just made the movie that much better because he's like, oh, now I understand what the guy's saying in the movie.
Well, I should probably watch that and then I could understand.
Yeah.
Was that done because people said, like, we had a hard time understanding what Brad was saying? Was that, like, kind of as an afterthought, or was that something that you guys planned on doing? Like he's kind of hard to understand some of his dialogue.
Well, when we were making the movie itself, we kept sending back the rushes back to, or the dailies, I think they call them out here, back to Sony, and Sony kept kicking up a fuss that we were using this $20 million actor and no one could understand the word that he was saying. So, I mean, that was the gag, and people liked the fact that they couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually know there were subtitles on his dialogue. That's an American thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
American people don't speak English.
Not the proper English. Are there American movies that in England people watch and go like, what's he saying?
No, is the answer to that. No, it's a funny thing. I just finished another movie called Rock and Roller, which we showed out in Long Beach, and one of the big deals was the accent, and it wasn't, you know, none of the accents were like extremely British in any way, but it was still like a big deal, and I think it's just because we've been weaned on American accents forever that you know, it doesn't touch the sides with us lot.
I don't have a problem with the English accents in movies. Like, I could pick right up on it. It's not like I'm sitting there going, what?
No, it flummoxes me that anyone should get flummoxed by it because you know, it's not that exotic, is it?
And I think English actors can put on American accents easier than Americans can put on English accents. They can't. Americans don't seem to be able to really hold it for any prolonged period of time.
What, they've got better.
They've gotten better?
Yeah, they've gotten better. I started really with Gwyneth Paltrow, and she did like Emma or something like that. And most of England thought she was English for a long time. Her accent was pretty spotless. And then I think that sort of put a benchmark up for other people to follow. I watched Vanity Fair the other day, actually on the plane coming over yesterday, and I think it's Reese Witherspoon. And I got to tell you, that was a pretty spotless accent.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain actors that are really good at it, and then you just see them in a movie and assume they're English. And you hear they do an interview, or you assume they're American, and you hear an interview and go, what? Why is he talking like that?
Gary Oldman, I had no idea was not American. When
really?
I heard him speak, I'm like, ugh.
You see him in an interview.
Christian Bale's another one.
Christian Bale. I tell you what, I like Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's great, man.
Great.
Yeah.
No, who was great too was Kevin Costner in Robin Hood. His accent was just terrific.
Shut up.
Or how about Michelle Pfeiffer, God love her? She can't even do Southern for an entire film. Right. Dangerous Mind. It's like, where are you from? Boston or South Carolina?
I love the actors or actresses. They just give up halfway through the movie. They just can't keep it going. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's where Oldman blew me away. I heard him speaking. I'm like, he is British.
Damn it! It's not one of ours.
No, you're right. I mean, there are people that are very good at it, and those that are good at it, it's an impressive, impressive quality. But you think if you're an actor, that's what you would be good at, wouldn't you? And I'm quite surprised by some people that aren't good at it.
Yeah. Some people are just really bad at it.
Oh, yeah, they're rank.
Can't do it. Jason Statham, he's in Revolver.
Yeah, he's actually not the best example of an accent man.
But he's fantastic, man. Like, anything I've seen him in has been really good. This movie, Revolver, is sort of it's a bit of a departure for him because he's been the rough and tumble, gun-toting, tough guy, and he doesn't really play that in this movie.
No, we kept his shirt on. And,
well, there is a shower scene. Very hot, by the way. Wow.
You know what? I forgot about the shower scene.
Yeah, but you got Jason Statham. You're not gonna not take his shirt off for at least one scene.
You know, but thank God he gave us a naked Ray Liotta. So I'm extremely happy about that.
They just filmed him like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now having a breakdown. They just filmed Ray Liotta naked. They're like, all right, we'll use it.
One of my favorite scenes in Revolver, Ray Liotta's making this point to his underlings, and all of a sudden, like, you pan out or whatever, and he's completely naked, turning around, you see Ray Liotta ass. I'm like, oh my God. Is he insane in person?
Ray Liotta?
Yeah.
You want the truth? Or?
Yeah. I'm starting to think he's not really that good of an actor. He's just insane, and you just get to capture this on film.
Well, I think he's interesting. I think, I mean that in a positive way. I think Ray has something to offer, and I think his best roles is something that he's allowed to be a character or even a caricature, and then he can get really stuck in. So I got good things to say about Ray in that respect.
Oh, I love his acting.
You got a great moment out of him. Like he's like in Goodfellas, he was great. He did a movie with Madeline Stowe where he plays a creep, and he's always in these weird roles. But you got like I haven't seen like a really intense emotional moment at all. I'm sure he's done them, but I haven't seen it. And there was a scene where he kind of has a breakdown of sorts in this, and I was like, I've never seen Ray Liotta like really weak.
Yeah, that was
vulnerable.
really like
great scene you got out of him. Looks like I've never seen him do that in a film.
Well, thanks very much. I think Ray will appreciate you saying that also. But you know, Ray's one of those guys that can turn on the tears within 10 seconds, and that's like the kind of
another talent
thing.
Yeah,
it's a talent, and it's very impressive when people can do it, when actors can just like turn on the taps, and he's one of those guys, and he got very emotional in that scene in his underpants, and
everything snot, spit, everything was flying out of him.
He got stuck in there. In fact, the version that you see is, I think he's like whispering when he's, but that's because the take before we tried the screaming version and he lost his voice. So we went with the hushed tone.
Now, Guy, we were discussing the movie earlier on our show, and the movie intrigues us. I don't know what to think of this movie yet. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
No, I think that's a fair remark, and to a degree, I'm not sure if people should come out with a sort of I liked it or didn't like it philosophy after they've seen them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say whether I liked it or didn't like it. I enjoyed watching the movie a lot, especially when it started. I was like, okay, this is great. As it went through, I enjoyed the ride completely. But then I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. No, not the credits. Wait a minute. Now I got to think.
I got to watch this again, I think.
He didn't wrap this up in a little package for me.
Well, by the way, it is wrapped up in a package. It's just you can't.
I got to see it again.
Yeah, I got to watch it again. I got to watch it again. It's one of those. There are a few movies, very few movies, where I will get online and start trying to get other people's comments and opinions on a movie, and it'll haunt me for days. I'll just have the movie, and I'll be thinking about it, and this is one of those movies where I'm trying to analyze what exactly happened, who these people are, what their intent is, and it's very interesting, the movie. And shot beautifully. I love what you did with it, but it left me going, I need to know more about this.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, it's not a movie for everyone, right? Because it's not a straightforward, entertaining movie. So it's got to be. It's a movie for those that like to think.
Yeah,
it's like a thinking man's action movie, so to speak, right? So if you're just going for just the thrill and the action, you're going to be sourly disappointed. So I want to be very clear about anyone that's going in there. They should know what they're getting themselves into.
It's funny,
especially with Jason, because Jason's usually, he's driving fast, he's killing a lot of people.
Yeah, It's funny you should say that, because I sat down and watched the movie, and about 15 minutes in, I said to myself, oh, no, I think I was supposed to pay a lot more attention than I did. I swear to God, that's what I said to myself. And I started the movie over again. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is a little deeper than like a gangster, movie here. There's more going on here.
Well, it's a good idea. You're right. But, I mean, it's to a degree, we had a bunch of psychiatrists on at the beginning. Well, we used to have them on the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But then people thought they were getting into a documentary, so we knocked them out. But really what we were trying to say is that you want to pay attention from the off.
Right.
Right? If you pay attention from the off, because it's a trip to a degree, so if you can get your noggin into it initially, then it doesn't half make it more accessible toward the end.
I think what helps is the quotes in the beginning. That kind of helps grab you and make sure you're paying attention when the movie starts, is to read some of those quotes about war and game playing and chess.
Have we even explained the movie yet since Guy came in? Guy, what's the movie about, just to bring more people...
Okay, well, the movie is essentially about the greatest enemy that ever existed is hiding within your own head. As the expression goes, your own worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy, and it's an exploration into that. So it's what the psychiatrists call the ego. It's what religionists call Satan. It's trying to kind of fuse all those different concepts together, and what we're left with is what they what the psychiatrists now call the conceptualized self. Freud used to call it I mean, I don't want to sound too pretentious about this whole thing. It's what we know as, I suppose it's the aspect of our nature that's a pain in the arse and keeps us dogged.
Right.
It's the thing that makes our day miserable.
Tremendous amount of chess in this movie too, which I liked because I'm a chess freak, so it was kind of nice to see like every other scene had like some sort of a chess theme to it, which made me.
And it was being used as a vehicle to have the communication between the two characters.
Yeah,
which
it
was
wasn't
good.
just background.
And the way that was shot, I really liked that. The low angle on the chessboard, looking at the characters through the chess pieces, was really well done.
They're both in focus, which
that's what got me.
Which is tough to do, and we created a lens just for that, so you could have a vast chess piece right up front and still keep the actor in focus. And the amount of light that we had to throw at that in sort of filmic terms, we had about 420Ks, which is like an insane amount of light in order to pull that little trick off.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was done in layers or something, but it was done very well, yeah.
Well, the whole idea is that you are playing chess with yourself, right? So hence chess is such a kind of good metaphor, such an efficient metaphor.
Well, they said Bobby Fischer would only play with himself after a while, or he would only date women that had like a certain chess rating. I mean, obviously he's not the most socially adept, but I mean, there are guys that love chess so much that if you're not good enough, they won't play you. They'll just kind of play themselves.
But how do you play yourself?
You just do. He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's out of his mind.
How do he won't even get Phillies because he was afraid they're going to affect his brain waves. He played Boris Spassky. He had to have another seat brought in. He was nuts.
Surely you don't have to have a lesson in how to play with yourself.
No, I think everybody learns that.
Yeah, the inside of my bedroom looks like a cave. Stalactite. All right. Are you a good player? Are you a good chess player?
I'm actually a crap chess player, but I do play a lot of chess.
Do you? I heard Kubrick was great too. Like he used to play on the set of Full Metal Jacket. They say it was like a lot of directors. It seems I guess like the whole thought process of what chess does.
Chess is the ultimate game in terms of board games. I can't think of anything that as rewarding as a game of chess. It just covers everything.
Yeah.
Or it's frustrating, though, because nothing makes you feel dumber than somebody smashing you in 8 moves. I've lost in 8 moves, and you just retarded.
I got a dumber thing. I started playing chess online. I've told the story a couple times, and I started kicking ass. I used to play chess when I was growing up, and I'm kicking ass. I'm really happy, and there's a little chat thing, right? And this person goes, "Wow, you're pretty good. I'm 9. How old are you?" True story. And I turned off the computer. I felt like a creep. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm thinking I'm
Dateline NBC comes in. Why don't you sit down and have some cookies, Opie?
And I'm thinking I'm playing like chess people that have the same skill level as me. It's not.
They
I'm
did. He was 9.
Yeah. There you go. 9-year-olds. So that was it for me getting back into chess.
So has the film, I mean, have you screened it anywhere? Are people coming out with the same questions like, all right, we're not exactly sure what we just saw as far as, because it's not an easy story to follow.
No, it's not. Well, the whole point of the story is that fundamentally it is an easy story to follow, right? But your mind is making it complex. That's really what the illustration of the movie is about, is this is dramatically easy.
That's a good point, because you start thinking in terms of, I'm missing something, so let me try to fill in the blanks, or let me try to anticipate what's going to happen, and you wind up confusing yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of just
that's the idea.
going along. Yeah.
The only person that's confusing you is you.
Right? Yeah. And that's kind of the gist of the movie.
And that's the gist of the movie. It's a really easy point to understand, is that you are your own worst enemy. Just you will not accept that, because the enemy in your head will make sure that you do not accept it by complicating and confusing the issue.
Did Madonna like it?
I don't know. Has she seen it?
We were saying The Office too. It's one of these movies you should not be late to. We were discussing that.
Yeah,
you know how you could miss 5 minutes of a movie. You haven't missed anything. This movie, man, Jason Statham sets up the whole thing with a little monologue, whatever. And that's when I had to go back and go, wait a minute, I think I was supposed to pay attention to that.
But that is why we put the quotes in. So
right,
got rid of the shrinks and put the quotes in, because they were supposed to be the signpost for, really pay attention now.
Did you have Jason cast right away? Did you want him, or did you have other people?
Jason,
so it was like the idea of who people had in mind for a role.
But by the way, if I had anyone else, I wouldn't tell you anyway. You can't do that. But
what do I know?
Gerard Depardieu was supposed to do it, and he dropped out.
So no, Jason and I have been talking about this concept for a long time. And so he gets the concept, and very few people do get the concept, as I say, because the mind doesn't want to get the concept. So he was a chap that got it, and Jason and I are old mates and sparring partners on the chessboard. So it was a natural fit, and I like Jason as an actor more than I do as an action hero, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you throughout the history of your work, how do you feel about critics that have given, you work hard on a movie, obviously, you put a lot into it, and critics that bash you for a movie? What do you, does that annoy you? It's got to on a personal level.
I'm going to be a liar if I said it doesn't. It doesn't.
Because I know something as simple as, you get a dumb caller or a stupid message board post, and you're like, it doesn't bother me. And then you find yourself, you son of a, you're just typing away and
you
get
try
all
and
angry.
defend your position.
Yeah, and you just really can't.
No, it's futile.
Yeah.
And I've taken a fair amount of a kick-in on this one because it was, what is this movie all about? And I don't understand it, therefore you must be an idiot. And there was a kind of zeitgeist in he is an idiot. And then so I did take something of a lambasting over the idiot factor.
I was thinking that last night when I was watching. I'm like, he's making me feel stupid. And I don't want to feel stupid, so I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah, your movie challenged all of us, I think. We've seen movies where we're like, that's crap. Ugh. But this wasn't crap, but it challenged
That's why I really liked it.
Right.
I enjoyed watching the movie. I just had a problem figuring out exactly what was going on. And I don't know if you can figure out exactly what's going on. It was kind of... a little abstract.
I think it's true. I mean, it is a little abstract, but there is a definitive kind of conclusion that the only battle that this chap was having was inside his own head. And it's funny, there was a review that came out recently that said, this movie, it built up and it looked like it was going somewhere, and then what the climax was that his own demons were the climax. And I thought, well, shit, isn't that, the climax in every movie? Is there ultimately, the demon is the climax. It's your demons are the climax. There is no other climax to any movie.
It should be said, too, some of the gun scene, the violence in this movie is really cool.
It doesn't skimp on the violence. Is actually really well shot.
It needs to be said, though.
The Hitman guy was fantastic. I really liked that character. He was very uncomfortable with his glasses and just really good at his job.
There's a lot of action.
Can I say there's one scene that I'm not going to give away the movie, but I'm going to say there's one scene with a hand being stuck to a table via a nail, and it's really, really good. Really good. That was a great scene in the kitchen.
Well, although the movie's kind of esoteric, I wanted to make it accessible in the action kind of factor. So, because I'm not actually into esoteric movies. I go to the cinema fundamentally to be entertained, but I do like to be challenged. And there's not that many movies that are challenging, I suppose, really anymore.
There's nothing worse than when somebody will put a movie like that they want you to think about and then take the violence out on purpose. It's almost like Pulp Fiction did a great job of that, where they had violence that was violence, and there was other parts of it that were completely hitting another part of your brain. It was like both parts were done well. So I kind of like the fact that the violence wasn't skimped on, but it wasn't overly hyped either.
What movies have you seen that you thought were good and got you thinking instead of just action movie?
Actually, it's quite interesting because there was a movie I saw 2 days ago, IMAX 3D, which I hadn't heard great things about, and I didn't think I was really going to enjoy it, and I thought it was brilliant, but I enjoyed it on the intellectual
Harry
level.
Potter.
And it was Beowulf.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty smart.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's come clothed in like this kind of action, kind of ancient epic, but that narrative's pretty smart.
Yeah.
It's pretty smart. It's the same. Basically, it's the same as Revolver. It's the idea that you're feeding in this. Have you guys?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I've got to tell you, lads, it's pretty smart. It's the idea that you feed this internal beast and it turns into a dragon. And in the metaphor in this case is the dragon. And in the end, you've got to go to war with it. And the more you feed it, the stronger it gets. So I really enjoyed it, and I like a bit of 3D, and I like a bit of action.
Yeah. Was it good 3D?
I like a bit of 3D, and I like IMAX.
I've only seen one 3D movie at IMAX 3D. That was Superman with the stuff floating in front of you, and you're trying to grab.
Is that a
onto it
new
and
one,
stuff.
or is that an old one?
It was the one that came out. What did I say? I said Superman, right?
Yeah.
You said iMac.
Huh?
You said iMac. You mean IMAX?
IMAX 3D. I'm sorry. Yeah.
IMAC, he watched it on his iMac.
No,
Right.
this is why I said that. This is how dumb I am, and I have to throw myself under the bus. When you said I saw this great movie, IMAX, I swear I thought IMAX was the name of the movie that you saw.
You know nothing
And then
of
you
what
said,
is
like,
going
and
on
honest to God,
in
what,
technology
IMAX was the
or
film.
you know
But
the big theater.
Yeah.
3D.
That's an experience. I mean, if you're into like experiences, the IMAX experience, which is the big screen, right? So you're in it,
They got the 3D thing figured out. It's kind of
and
creepy.
they've got the 3D thing figured out.
creepy. Like some of this stuff's right in front of your eyes, even if you're sitting way back in the IMAX theater.
Having seen Honey, I Shrunk the Audience in Disney, I do know a little bit about 3D.
I saw Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
I remember.
Well, that must have been great back then.
Yeah, it was like a spear in a head, and then
Yeah.
the rest of it was not 3D.
Right.
It just stunk.
It's the old spear gun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
That's right.
One other thing about Revolver, why did you decide to tease the audience with that really hot girl, topless? I think it was in a sauna. Or
With the
steam
beer
room,
bottle, yeah. She
With
had
the beer bottle between her legs.
Yeah, it was like in her between her thighs.
The thighs. It's obvious she's completely nude, and then she decides she needs a sip of that beer.
The camera followed the bottle.
followed the bottle up there, guy. What's up with that?
She was England's most famous lap dancing queen.
Really?
And was, famous for getting her entire kit off. And strangely, and the reason we chose her because we didn't think we would have any problems on the day removing the bottle, right? But on the day, she became all prudish. And actually, she is wearing a pair of undershorts.
Really?
Behind that bottle. Not that we were going to reveal anything anyway, but it was funny how coy she suddenly became.
So you had to shoot it a different way.
No, we shot it the same way. I think we painted out her shorts in the end. I mean, she had a bigger pair of boxer shorts on than me, but she suddenly became really prudish. But the idea is that it's all these different forms of seduction.
Yeah.
So we did use a couple of rather fit young ladies in there.
Yeah.
And Lord John was different characters represent different aspects of vice, and Lord John, who was the Chinese chap, did. His ladies corresponded to vice.
Yeah.
You see, how familiar are you with John Woo's films? Like, not the American stuff, but the stuff he did with, like, Chow Yun-Fat, like Hard Boiled and stuff like that. How great are those?
Yeah, well, I loved a bit of Hard Boiled, but also they came out from left field. No one was seeing them coming, and they were hard boiled.
Yeah.
And they were fresh. I think they sort of went somewhere else after a while, but when they first came out, that was good stuff.
Well, yeah, after the American, once you try to do violence, like Americanized, is very difficult. He was doing just free range shooting over there, and then Nicolas Cage shows up, and he's a good actor, but it was like, all right, face off. It was just senseless violence. The Chinese versions were fantastic. Guy walks in holding the bird, and there's 80 people dead, and you're like, all right, I don't care what's going on.
Well, we have to take a break, and we got to get Guy Ritchie out of here. You're doing all the interviews today?
I am, chaps, but thanks a lot for having me on, and thanks for being broad-minded.
Well, we were trying to figure it out,
I absolutely am going to watch it again because, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it, but it was one of those that got me thinking. And I don't know why I enjoy looking at a movie and thinking about it, and I don't know why that annoys me so much. Like, I get annoyed that I have to then go and check what other people thought. But that's like a healthy thing to do.
Well, anytime.
But why am I so annoyed by it?
It's like Clockwork Orange or any other type of film that people see that they have to think about. People like are fairly, ugh, and then like they watch, like everybody else says, "Oh, it was really good." They go, "Oh, okay, now I kind of see it."
Well, now Clockwork I've seen like 1,000 times and I love it. But the first time I saw it, I was just sitting there going, "What? Stop! What is this?"
It's about an orange.
Yeah, what's about orange? You ass.
You summed it all up right there.
I've read what it's about, and I still really couldn't put it into words. That's probably my favorite movie.
Yeah.
When's Revolver come out? Next week? I think it's next Friday, I believe.
It must be.
It says here in theaters next Friday, December 7th.
Okay.
Okie doke.
The movie's called Revolver, and this is Guy Ritchie. You got to come back, please.
Thanks very much.
We had fun with
Thanks,
you.
man.
Thanks.
All right. It's Opie and Anthony. We'll continue in just a bit.